Okay, so what we're gonna do today is this wick theory, right? As you can see, we wanted to take the break of NVIDIA 159, but the market came pre-market. The first minute after the open market made this green wick, and it came right back down again, right? So what Lander would always say is he hates seeing wicks at these levels, and what Jeff said was he would like to see the wicks fill in. So what does that mean? Well, when the market came right back up again, it came very close to this wick right here. Uh, and what initially what happened is we would have made the zone like this, right? And then when the market comes up at 1047, 1048, it makes another wick up and then flushes back down again, right? A wick usually means buyers are trying to go up, but sellers were strong at that level, so they brought it right back down again. That's what a wick actually means. So basically what it means is if I was to draw the zone here, it means at 1047, 1048, the buyers tried to go up at 1048 and then came right back down again. So sellers still have control. So this zone here, what these guys do is they reduce this area. So what does that mean? Which means buyers are able to eat up this area, but sellers came back up. So Jeff will narrow this zone down. What happens next is around 10 o'clock is that the candle closes inside the zone. Now remember, we want to take the break of 159, correct? If you want to take the break of 159, you want to be able to see this candle break 159, correct? But what happened here is because this wick is they want to see this wick filled, quote unquote. They want to see a candle close inside this wick. That means now the buyers are taking enough control because buyers tried to take this control, sellers pushed them back down again in the first 9:30. Buyers tried to take control, sellers pushed them right back down again at 9:31. And similarly again, 9:48, they tried to infiltrate the zone, they couldn't. Now in here, they actually got filled in. Correlation at 10 o'clock, take a look at SPY. 10 o'clock, this huge push. Look at this bounce off of 648, 624, bounce on the 624. People are rocketing up higher around 30 seconds in, rocketing up higher. Qs at 10 o'clock, look at this, like rocketing up higher. 555 broke that. So Qs broke 555 around 10:30, about 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. Around 10 o'clock and 30 seconds in, Qs broke 555. SPY bounced hard from 644 around 30 seconds in. They were rushing towards the top. And Jeff saw that this candle in the 90s is going to hold, so he got in. That's how he got in. Because he saw this candle will quote unquote fill in the wick, which means the buyers are finally in. Selling pressure has died down. The buyers are finally in. It might break right through. So what happened is he got in here at the 90s and he stayed there, and I got in at 99.01 at the actual break, even though I saw at 10 o'clock and 10:01, they're rushing up higher. But this is the break, right? 555 is the real break. SPY's bouncing off of 624 at 10 o'clock. All of this is happening at 10 o'clock. So what he did, and also at the same time, um, the the wick is being filled, the 80s and the 90s, right? I asked just the question if as soon as he saw 90s, he was in 1993 at 10 o'clock. He didn't wait for it to break. And I asked Jeff, what happens if this candle would have filled at the 80s and stayed there? He said no, he wouldn't take it. But of course, he's telling me that as soon as he saw this insane Q's reaction, Q's breaking 555 in 30 seconds in, SPY bouncing off the 624, 30 second in and racing higher, and NVIDIA filling this wick zone in with buyers at 9:58. That's the time he decided to get in the 90s, and he probably would have put a level stop loss above this, below this zone here if you want to in the 80s. Definitely at the 78 at the bottom of this zone. So that's what they say when they say they would like to see the zone fill up. Now it could have happened that they could have bounced here in this zone, bounced here and then broke this level. That's fine, but this is his favorite setup: a zone fill up along with Qs breaking a key level with momentum, such as 555, SPY breaking momentum with SPY bouncing at 624 whole number with momentum, and NVIDIA trying to fill in at the in the 90s, these wicks, implying that buying pressure has happened. So this is when he got in, and he actually made 10% before this trade didn't work out. I got out at negative 1.2 because it went and then it came right back down to the 88s. And Jeff was also saying, notice that it never broke this zone. You remember we talked about, hey, we have to make sure that stick to our stop loss. Well, in this case, we got out a negative 1.2%. But as you can see, look at this zone, right? If we would have entered here, we would have put a stop loss below this zone at the 70s, or maybe here at the 80s. And then no matter what, we wouldn't be phased out. So we got phased out here. Jeff did as well, got phased out because he started pussyfooting around here. And he took a 10% trim here, but I got nothing. I got maybe 2% trim here because I got in here, whereas he got in the 90s because he saw the zone fill up. Okay, once he got the zone fill up, he probably put a stop loss up here, and then this one rode, right? I think Donnie would have done this way. He would have put a stop loss below this zone and rode this up. So wicks can be a great area for entry. And then the bottom of the zone, if you can narrow this wick down, bottom of the zone, if you can narrow this wick down, as you can see, this wick, the zone used to be here, and then in the second entry I shrunk it down here because this peak happened. So anywhere down here the zone, you can put a stop loss and you can take this entry high, especially when you see Qs passing a momentum, rushing by with momentum at a key level, SPY doing the same thing. And so if you would have stuck here, I think I saw max maybe -6, and then it came back up, I got out. And maybe Jeff probably saw the same thing, but he should have entered, he should have stayed here at the bottom of the zone. Look how it turned out. It actually gave you an entire dollar up. So this is what they mean by zone filling. When seller pressure goes down and buyers to take over, if you see in the 90s and you see Qs and SPY correlation, take that trade and put it at stop loss at the bottom of the zone. Even if it comes back and hobbles around a little bit, there's a fairly good chance that it'll pop out. And if it doesn't pop out, then the bottom of the zone is your licensed stop loss.